let's go ahead and have the candidates introduce themselves. First up will be Mr. Carafa.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Carafa. Most of you know me as the constable, and you've seen me in these meetings for over the past 16 years. I've been a resident of the township for 18 years. I'm married. I have 2 children, Jacob 16, Madeline 13. Both attend the Board Council School District. I served in the U.S. Navy, acquiring the rank of Petty Officer Second Class. I was deployed on 2 expat cruises on missions for the 3rd Fleet, 7th Fleet, and Common Defense Force. I left the Naval Service with 2 honorable discharges and a lot of life experience. I'm retired from LGS, where I was a member of the Security Response Force assigned to be search team for contraband interdiction. My background includes small business owner, commercial diving supervisor, telecommunications manager. I was a data center superintendent for Merrill Lynch's data center, which was a shadow facility for the New York Stock Exchange. And I'm also versed in tenant landlord disputes and evictions. I've been involved in EMS as an EMT and the fire service as a firefighter and a captain of our fire police. I served in Levittown First Hills Rescue Squad, Plains Ambulance Minute 1, Haverhill Horsham Fire Company, VMSC of Lansdale, and also with the Upper Frederick Fire Company. I would like to be given this opportunity to continue what I started in 2021, where I was a candidate for supervisor with bipartisan support, losing by only 30 votes. I've been involved in township for 16 years now, so I understand most of the inner workings of what goes on in the township and who the people are. I'm brutally honest, sometimes to a fault, and I call things as I see them, good or bad. I have no personal agenda, nor am I out for any type of financial gain in this position. I want to set an example for my kids to stand up for what you believe in, whether it's popular or not. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Neill.
So, my name is Steve O'Neill. Good evening. I'm a 30-year resident. A little bit about my history. I worked in the industry, in the restaurant industry for 20 years. I started as a busboy at 11, making $1.25 an hour, although I did get tips. I worked for TGI Fridays. I opened Fridays on City Line Avenue in Philadelphia a long time ago. I started there as a cook. I moved to assistant kitchen manager, associate general manager. In 1989, I opened the King of Prussia Fridays as the general manager. I had enough of the restaurant industry at some point and started my own business, Magnum Power Wash, which I still work. I'm still working, although my wife says I'm semi-retired. Why am I interested in the township supervisor position? My personal situation has changed. I have a lot more time on my hand, as my wife says. I do a lot of volunteering in my church. I help with food stuff, breakfast. I mow the church lawn regularly. We have a fall ball bash, which is a big volleyball tournament that I help run. I've done some local volunteer missions in the Philadelphia area with Send Relief. And I thought it was appropriate time to try to serve my community if I could. I'm close to retirement with my wife. We love Perkionerville. We want to spend the rest of our life here. And we want the township to continue as it's been for the 30 years that we've been here. My qualifications, my life experience, I've worked in the corporate world, I've owned my own business. I've had hundreds of employees, as many as 125 when I was at City Line Avenue on Fridays. I have common sense. I'm a good problem solver. We had a theory at Fridays. We had a lot of management theories. One of the theories was ownership theory. And ownership theory is you run the restaurant like you own it. You spend the money like it's your money. You run the business like it's your business. I would bring that same thing to the township. I would spend the money like it's my money. I have no interest in spending other people's money. I would spend money wisely. I have no agenda. I want to do the things that the township's responsible for, maintain the roads, parks, repair, maintenance, and assist the residents with their problems. I'm just a long-time resident, I'm interested, and so, like I said, I have no agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say it, Joe. Good evening, everybody. My name is Darby Bauer. I am currently the elected auditor. I'm the fourth generation of my family to live in Upper Frederick, where I was really taught the importance of community. I've always believed, learning about community and being a part of them, once you have the ability, you should start giving back to the communities you participate in. Some examples for that for me, I graduated college kind of recently, middle of the pandemic, so still trying to get my stuff out there. But when I was in college, I was doing a lot of leading clubs. I was club president for Frisbee Club. I led a lot of music events on my college campus, including starting one called Composition Fest, where we brought a bunch of musicians and tried to get a small audience to expose people to freshly composed music. And I was a big leader on my varsity track and field team. I think still am a school record holder, but I've always brought a lot more joy in helping my fellow athletes out, cheering them on, and always being a part of the community, which is the important thing. Being a part of this community, specifically of Upper Frederick, is really important to me because I plan to make my home here. Like I said, fourth generation, hopefully a fifth sometime in my future. No plans yet, but that's really important to me, and it helps me empathize with people, people and all future families and families right now who want to make this place their home, their community. It's ours, and that's what I want to make it. I want to really work on keeping this community, I really want to focus on keeping this community's rural character. We're experiencing a lot of change right now, including policies, but I really want to focus on building upon the past and not letting time creep in. My grandfather, long time ago, helped out with zoning the township originally to fight back on. At the time they were talking about putting in a very large trailer park, so it's kind of in our blood to help out when we see fit. I know I look pretty young. I am pretty young. I'm 26. And so, even though I'm young, I feel like I can offer a lot of different fresh perspectives, especially somebody who is looking to not only move out anytime soon, but make this place my home and continuing to build upon the foundation that my family has had. I've had a very short and young professional career, but in it, I've learned the importance of transparency, which is huge. Being able to, choose your words wisely and make sure that you're not hurting those you're trying to help. I also think going along with that, safety is super important. I work with kids. I plan on making that a career hopefully soon. I'm planning on trying to go into teaching shortly. But safety, especially safety around kids, is something that was hammered into me pretty quickly, and I feel like that's something that we can all, we can all resonate with. Especially, a plan's great, and it's what we should plan for. Stuff happens and you deal with that as it goes, but the plan is the first and foremost thing that you can do to combat any potential hazards. And going along with that, the importance to regulation. They're there for a reason. They're there to help us measure or use as guidance for our safety issues or anything like that. Lastly, I'm looking to make a positive impact on what this current board of supervisors has been doing the last 7 months, and it's just what y'all do is very much appreciated. It's hard work, and it's not always easy. It's something that I can thank all of y'all for, and including all of our community members, because we're nothing without our community. And I just hope I can help make an impact here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Reed? Hi. My name is Buck Daniel Lee, and I am, for 54 years, Upper Frederick has been my home. I'm a lifelong registered Republican. I own and operate my own construction company since 1992, and I'm the president of RGC Investment Group, LLC. We, the people, have been losing our power in this country. Popular sovereignty is being eroded. Our current board of supervisors has just ended a law that was put in place by the previous administration that criminalized free speech. That law was designed to diminish you while hiding their own actions. We must never go back to that. In 2015, I was instrumental in permanently preserving our 78-acre family farm my grandparents had settled on back in the 1950s. I currently serve as vice chairman on the planning commission, and since being unburdened by the previous board, we've discovered zoning issues that help developers while restricting the rights of residents. We're working on loosening the certain ordinances that unduly restrict the basic rights of existing homeowners. I myself have recently authored an ordinance that has been described as pioneering. It will give residents the necessary tool to proactively protect their well water quality before, during, and after housing development. We have a lot of tools at our disposal to protect and help everyone, but none of it matters if our supervisors are going to be sabotaged from within, like what has been happening. Many in our township have been dismissed, ignored, and turned away for too long. And that's why we are facing a large-scale housing development by one of the largest home builders here in America. You're going to hear, you'll always hear about what kind of experience those who are running for office bring, but none of that matters if you're diminished or if their personal agenda gets in the way of serving you, the people, like has happened in the past. We're all neighbors. We all face the same hurdles together, and whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or an independent, I will work diligently for all of you if need be. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to go through a set of questions here that we have got for you guys, and we'll start with you, Mr. Carafa, and then Mr. O'Neill, Dorothy, and Buck here. So my first question for Mr. Carafa is, why did you submit your name for consideration for a township supervisor?
I addressed that, I guess briefly in my opening statement as to why I wanted the opportunity. But to add on to that is to be a member of the current board. I mean, we have an excellent manager from what I'm seeing. We have two great people on the board that are looking out for the best interests of the community. We have a new solicitor that seems great from what I've seen of you so far. And it's the dream team I'd love to be on, okay? And the reason for it is I believe that our local government has got to be accessible to everybody, not just small groups of people or special interest groups. We have to serve the majority of the township, so they have to be accessible to us. We can't lie to people. We can't sit at that table and tell untruths or not answer questions and just remain silent, and thereby lying by omission. I think our township has gone downhill for a long time, and I think there was some things that needed to be addressed, and I want to sit on that board and address some of those things. But most of all, I want it to be open, transparent, and honest, and representative of all.
Mr. Darby, or I'm sorry, Mr. O'Neill, same question to you.
Yeah, so I'm interested in the supervisor position for a long time. I've been interested in politics, and most of my interest has been more far-reaching, not local politics. And I would never thought that I would run for office, and if this supervisor position wasn't open, I would never run for office normally. Because it seems to, I don't know, it's tough to do, I'd say. But I've been a resident for 30 years. I speak to a lot of people in the community. frequent a lot of places in the area, and I think the fact that nobody here knows me, pretty much. I've been a resident, but just because I haven't been active doesn't mean that I haven't been interested. I have no political affiliations and no agendas. There's nobody here that I have business with. There's no, I'm not going to profit from anything in the township. All I am is a resident of the township for a long time that has time. I have common sense. And like I said, I don't want to spend other people's money. I don't feel like we need to, our job is to add more regulations, more things like there's plenty of regulations, there's plenty of those things. I think the township should take care of the things that it's responsible for. You know, the roads, the parks, maintenance, repairs, and anything the state dictates that we're responsible for. I know taxes and that, but I think I bring a fresh perspective. Somebody with a lot of experience in life, corporate experience, business owner experience, and no baggage. Nobody here, has me on the side or knows me on the side, or we have connections, or my business does business with anybody in the township. I think that might be a refreshing thing for the township.
Okay. Mr. Darby?
I submitted my name because after college, after I graduated, I went to school out of state and I came back, and a lot happened these last couple of years. But as I've been growing a little older these last couple of years, like I talked about earlier, I started to feel like I became more of a member of this community. I ran for auditor and was elected, which was a great feeling. And once I saw this supervisor position open up, I felt like it was a good next step, because the auditor position right now doesn't have a whole lot of duties other than the annual meeting and some other stuff on the side. I'm looking to be a little bit more involved. I know that I am a little green with all this, but in this township, we're lucky to have a good legal counsel, a good, an excellent new township manager, and I hope to lean on them while I, get caught up to speed on all the important issues that all these great people, all that matters to them. I know I have some classes that I would need to take if chosen, but I feel like I've always been a lifelong learner, and I don't want not knowing stuff to hold me back. If I don't know something, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna try and learn about it. And I hope people can respect that as much as I'll respect when something comes up that I may know a little more about.
Okay. Mr. Reed?
I threw my hat in the ring because I believe that success and failure in life is gained through mastering the fundamentals. I think the big ticket item is treating each other with respect, treating the residents of this township, who are the true bosses, with respect. I've heard people come in here. I knew before LTL was in, I was actually kind of friendly with the guy. He was pretty good, the former codes enforcement officer. But I heard a lot of stories, even right here recently, where some residents came in looking to get a permit to put a deck on the back of their house, and they were just categorically told no. When it was a newer house in Ivy Ridge, and if they walked out the kitchen door, they'd fall 20 feet. I mean, that's just disrespectful. I believe if somebody's got 15 acres and it's feasible to subdivide in R80 2 acres off, and they want to build a home for their son or daughter, I don't think they should be given a hard time, because they could easily just sell it to Lennar Homes, like what happened down Lower Frederick on the lower end of Little Road, and you get 100 houses put in, or 25 houses, 30 houses on 12, 15 acres. That's basically, in a sense, what happened, is why we have this housing development that we're facing. Total disrespect to the homeowners there. I knew them very well. I grew up with them, with their son. Hung out in that house, knew them, went to the memorial service, and I know the whole story. We wouldn't be facing this issue if the township just would have extended a little bit of courtesy to them. They didn't ask a whole lot. They wanted to put a museum there, and they were categorically denied. So that was a generation, just like your family, it was generationally owned. They wanted to run that out, for the rest of their lives. It would have been given to their son. But now we're faced with like 300 homes. So that, my family's been here a long time. Our comprehensive plan was supposed to, it says right in the MC, the municipal planning code, the stakeholders in the township should be given, should have a say, in what goes in there and all these different things. And my family was never given that opportunity. There's people right along 73 right now that do come to these meetings that didn't even know their properties were zoned back in the mid-2000s for R60 and R40. That's not right. So I think I've heard it expressed many times here from everybody else. I didn't necessarily think I would be running, but I do, this team here that's in here, I think they're going to make a difference, and I'd like to lend my expertise.
You want to continue with questions, or do you want to alternate?
No, you can go ahead, Ms. Lisa.
You had enough practice.
That was it? No.
Okay, now we're going to go in reverse. Okay, so Buck, you get to go again. Be ready. How have you worked collaboratively on a decision when there is disagreement on an issue?
Well, we get in there and yell at each other. No, what we in the planning commission, the previous board, I extended, they didn't really want us in there. But on our reorganization meeting, I felt it was necessary to give to vote in the chairman and the vice chairman who were existing already. They were part of the planning commission. It was, give them an olive branch to be in charge. I don't have to be in charge. It's great being a follower. I'm in charge all day long, with my company. There's many days I wish I could go in and have the employer just tell me what to do. So it's just really about figuring out how to work with each other, being honest with each other, understanding how each other works. Actively thinking about how each other works. And I'm not always right. I'm wrong a lot, and that's okay, because without discussion, nothing gets done, nothing's moved forward. And hey, I might be right 1 out of 10 times, or 1 out of 100 times, and it could be the same thing with you. And if I'm wrong, tell me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I like being wrong because that's how I learn. So that's how I approach that.
Darby.
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure. How have you worked collaboratively on a decision when there is disagreement on the issue?